Hello!
Hello, peoples.
My instinct was to wave like you did with both my hands, and in the split.
Oh, your VTuber model probably did not like that.
And in the split second, I've been boxed already. The split second in which my brain went, "You don't have hand tracking," it then immediately went to, "Well, best just waggle my head then instead."
Doing well.
So you didn't see my hands, but you saw my head waggling. But there was a good ow. There was a good few seconds where I was just like, "Oh, can't see my wiggle head, wiggle."
To be fair, the ears kind of do the hand wave for you.
It's always amusing to me how the physics vary between the two versions of the exact same model, because while the ears in VR chat are also very wiggly, there is a slight difference which is hard to describe, but you can see it. There's an ever so slight physics difference between the two because they use different parameters.
I will trust you on that one.
That's something I notice whenever I'm streaming. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Discord in do not fucking talk to me mode. Professional term.
Yeah, do not interact.
Anyway, hello. Status, there it is.
We go to ears. Hello, Beard. Hello.
Hello.
It's a
Hey,
friend. UK Games Expo was so long ago.
I hate that I followed exactly the train.
That's because we have the same brain.
Yeah, but mine ain't working today.
Bold of you to assume that mine ever works.
Specifically.
Bold of you to assume that mine ever works. Before the stream even started, we had a conversation about how neither of our brains work, and we want to try to do something about that.
Sometimes. How's everyone today? Hello, hello.
Yes,
I am.
Hello, squad.
Hello. I started and finished a novel today. That's how I'm doing.
Wild.
It feels like 100,000 years since I've talked to you because we didn't have D&D last week. Well, you didn't have D&D last week.
Yep.
And I wasn't on art stream.
You weren't on art stream. So, yeah. I felt the same way, like, all day today. I'm just like, I haven't spoken to girls in so long.
And shameful confession for chat, I almost ditched on art stream, but I finished the book before the stream started.
No!
That was nearly even longer.
Me anymore.
You know what it is when I get too into a book. Suddenly the whole world no longer exists.
I should just go.
It's your stream. I should go.
Ah!
Hi guys, it's my stream now. Does that mean I get the Twitch money?
What Twitch money?
I don't know. Cause that's traitor talk. I have no loyalty. We've established this. If anyone's gonna top 10 anime betray the cluster, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
Like...
It's very upsetting to my eyes that Beard and Das are the same shade of pink.
Yes. It's fine. I could join in and we could just have more red tone. I'm writing a script about rogues.
Uh-huh.
I finally play one. No, it's not the first time I've been on an art stream since Pox basically died, right?
No, we had one.
We had one that week.
Yeah.
I've forgotten everything that's ever happened. We had a week with no things.
I know, right? It destroys
and
everything.
That void of time could have been 100,000 years.
That's
And
why
I
it's
even
like,
I played D&D on Saturday.
that's why, yeah, it's like you had that. I had nothing last week. Last week is a weird blank blur because all of the ways by which I track the days did not happen.
Didn't happen. Well, you still had art stream.
I still had art stream, yes, but then I had a full week of nothing. Do you think
True.
I knew when Thursday was? Nah.
No. My nan sometimes asks me what day it is because she doesn't really, bless her, have a reason to know or care why.
That's valid.
And she asked me last week, she was like, what day is it today? Is it Thursday? And I went, I don't know. I have no way of knowing.
I get it, because when it was peak pandemic and to work from home, even before work from home happened, literally just stay at home so that we don't spread, and it was like, you know, you can't go anywhere. Literally, it took like 3 days for me to be like, the calendar is invalid, days are not needed.
Nope.
Purple now!
Hey.
Woo!
Finally, we have someone who's purple in this chat who isn't Kay.
K erasure.
Thank God, someone had to.
Someone has to. Hello, gelatinous friend.
Das, I know you're playing Celeste with Kay right now. You can tell him I said that. I should warn you. I should warn everyone who's in pop. Me and Kay, and to some extent Naren, have developed a variation on an existing meme that is infuriating.
Oh, good.
is like annoying even to us who originated it. But we said we wouldn't do it until Twilight Princess. So
Valid. I mean, I've developed a meme exclusively between me and one other person in the furry community because we both, I literally said we're both doing the same grind in that we're both in the group just being like, hey, if you want to commission me for anything,
you're working the we grift.
Yeah, we're working the same grift to the point that we were taking the mick out of each other because we were just casually talking about our avatars, and he was like, oh, I want to add like a thing that can do this, and I was like, hey, I could do that if you pay me. And we were just doing that backwards and forwards.
That's a good bit.
Just doing it backwards and forwards all night, but the thing was is that every time we did it, again, I have no hand tracking, but we did the little gesture of like putting your fingers together in the kind of like, you know, yeah, that pose exactly.
Yeah.
So now every time we see each other, we just go up to each other and we just do that. We don't even say anything now.
Who are you guys, a Brit Ironcar?
So we literally just walk up to each other and just do that to one another, and everyone's like, what the hell are you two doing? And we're just like, we'll tell you if you give us money.
Give me money.
If you give me money. It's so dumb.
Welcome aboard, Stangy.
Hello.
You have a much nicer entrance into chat than most of us do these days. It's just become cluster subculture of like, how do I inform Blue that I am lurking in chat? I'm just gonna yeet a ball at her and then go back to lurking.
That's what most people do.
I may have got something for the moon.
Ow!
Is it rebooting Blue? I require points to do that.
Yeah, you sure do.
You sure do. Look, that's how I got all my points. By lurking and timing people out who didn't deserve it. I'll post a picture, send it to you later. Cool.
Okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? I've forgotten everything. Can I just drag this in, or am I gonna have to set something up for it? Oh boy, that's not correct at all.
That's a 2D plane.
It's meant to be a 2D plane. It was on the wrong plane. Axis lock, that's what we want.
Gonna be another stream of Blue saying things to me that don't mean shit.
I mean, you can make the joke again if you want. You don't have to, but you can. Give them the joke of the program I'm working in.
Julia! Is this Blender?
It's Blender! I should make a redeem that just plays that audio clip.
I will sample that for you and send it to you.
Yeah, find me the audio clip and I can make a redeem so that just randomly on streams it'll bellow in my ear. Julia, is this Blender?
Kay just killed oh yay guy. We're free. We're free.
The curse is lifted.
Thank God. I've been the last few every time the lads I don't know why I said that.
The boys
are playing Celasta, I just like eavesdrop while I'm doing other shit. And every time they're in the main town, it's just oye, oye. God, I hate that guy. Glad he's dead. I was thinking that was Celasta. It sure was. I should say, on the topic of the D&D we had on Saturday, Kid is not helping my brain vibrating in a little cube because Kid is losing his mind right now.
So you had good D&D then. Why didn't you share with the class? Because it's honestly a rare occurrence where you play D&D that I am not partaking in.
It's the only D&D I play that you don't partake in.
Yeah, and you haven't had a session for like 3 months.
More than that, it was February.
Oh, oof.
Yeah, we were just a surprise.
Go on then, share with the group.
So we had a long rest, thank God. I summoned OB, my little snake boy.
Yeah.
And as we were getting ready to go, we fell through the floor. As you do in an abandoned ruined market in Eberron, in the Mournlands. And we fell through the floor, and in a crate in the corner, we found a thing that was yelling at us. And at first we were like, what the fuck is this? But we quickly realized it's a fucking pre-calamity. That's not right. Pre-apocalypse supercomputer is what it is.
Amazing.
It's called the Oracle of War. It's the name of the game. It's the name of the campaign.
That's the name of the campaign.
And you can feed it a bunch of information about the terrain, the enemy, the allies, and any miscellaneous factors, and it will tell you how to win a conflict. And we were attacked while we were looking at it, so I fed it the information for like where we were, what had come to get us, all this, and it told us how to win the fight. And Kid lost his little Kalashtar mind. Because Kid's whole thing is finding like rare, cool tech artifacts. Like, for reasons that I will not disclose because people in chat. Like, Kid wants to find cool things for a reason. He's a divination wizard, but not the kind of like prophesizing necessarily. The kind that has a locate object. You know, like the very practical divination.
Right.
So I was immediately like, we did an entire combat where we had the instructions of what to do, and Kid literally sat on top of the Oracle with his familiar, using the familiar's eyes and telepathy to literally basically be like HQ for this combat, being like, right now, lure this thing through this room so that the floor collapses, and it was sick. Where is it?
I need to lock these somehow so I don't interact.
But yeah, it was sick. And then we nearly got murked by zombies on the way home. Because it's always good to be humbled.
Fair enough.
But yeah, the moment we get this fucking supercomputer back to Sanctuary, I am going to go off about it. Because I know what there was like a solid 2 minutes when me and Aaron were having a conversation about lore things, where I was like looking at everyone else's faces and they were just kind of blinking. I was like, no, this is the specific piece of Eberron lore I learned. It genuinely sounds dope as hell. Neron's Eberron campaign is really good. Oracle of War is really good.
Yeah.
I have ideas for what to do with this box. The only problem with it is every time we're in combat, it like has a bit of programming in it to like every time it senses combat, it offers to like help. So it's like, give me programming, you know, I can't remember what it says. It's like, give ally coordinates or something. But it doesn't shut up unless you give it things. So we were like, shh. Zombies refused to die, and that was the only problem. Yeah. When the zombie that was melee attacking me survived 2 2nd level magic missiles, I started to lose my mind. Because obviously the DC for coming back up on zombies is based on how much damage you do, but Kid is not a damage caster.
Yes.
I have 1 spell and 1 cantrip that does damage, and my 1 spell that does damage is magic missile. Yeah, I very much made Kid and was like, I don't need to do damage on this character. Our party is a Circle of Stars druid who gets to Guiding Bolt as a bonus action every turn. A Path of Beasts barbarian, and a fucking Echo Knight with Echo Knight fighter. I'm fine. I don't need to do damage.
Yeah, you're good. You're
Define
good.
enemy forces. That's it. God damn it. Define enemy forces. Define enemy forces constantly.
Did you try defining enemy sources?
I did twice.
Ah, fair enough.
Unfortunately, it's very picky. As a computer, it's picky about what type of input it will accept. And also, when you're in combat, you don't really have time to write out a bunch of instructions and feed it to it.
Right.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Tight.
I have a feeling shit's gonna go down, and I know for sure I want to hide this thing because I know how rare this tech is, and also I keep rereading. There was like a drawer with all the components in it to like give it information, but there was also a letter in there which was like sent along with it to wherever it ended up when the world exploded. And like I've read it a few times, and I'm like, oh no. I have a theory basically, and I think it's bad. These gosh dang zombies again, not recognized. Please try another term. That's what happened when I tried to feed it the end of the world scenario. The end of the world myth in Eberron is like, it's gonna be like 2 dragons. I was like, Eberron, 2 dragons, the entire populace of Eberron, potential end of the world is what I fed it. And it said, I don't know what you're talking about, basically.
Can you blame it?
Hilariously, I think the only thing that was wrong with that input was the fact that I didn't give it a map of Eberron as the terrain. Because that was the problem with when I tried to do it for the combat that we were in, is it needed a map, like an actual map of the area.
Right.
So if I'd given it a map of Eberron, it probably would have calculated that. But as with most very simple computers, it's hard to know which thing was wrong because it doesn't have a complicated output. Unless you put it all in, right? In which case it does. To like a scary degree. But yeah, it's a fucking divination machine. Kid's losing his mind.
That's adorable.
Are you making a 3D model of your giant Arcanine?
I am.
Good talk.
I was waiting for a why, but it never came.
No, why would I need to say why?
Because we're in the same cluster, you already know why.
I don't. There's nothing about that that's questionable. Like, it's like, are you making a model of your giant Arcanine? I.e., am I not confusing the things I am seeing? I am not confusing the things I'm seeing, therefore, everything I had presupposed was already correct. Here's an Echo Knight Goblin is amazing. Echo Knight is just sick. It's just, do you want to be Nightcrawler? Yes. Play Echo Knight. Have we talked about where we talked since the new Scarlet and Violet stuff came out?
No, we haven't. Do you like Farigiraf?
No. No, I don't.
Don't like Farigiraf.
I'll you in a minute.
Ah, frig.
No, I don't dislike it. It's just like, okay.
It's a Pokemon. That's fair.
It sure is an evolution of Girafarig.
I know, right? That's a Pokemon that needed an evolution.
Yeah. And it sure did need an evolution that was just as uninteresting as Girafarig. Like, you could have at least done something else. Something else. Yeah. But apart from that, Scarlet and Violet's looking really good.
It's looking good, like, yeah.
It's looking really good.
Because basically, literally about 30 seconds before we came over from the hello screen, I muttered, "Oh, I just realised that's awesome" to myself.
Yeah, am I finally going to get context for that?
Yeah, the context was as I was getting Arcanine pictures, I had the revelation that Arcanine and Growlithe are confirmed to be in Scarlet and Violet. Which means, one, I can have picnics with them, and two, I think I can invite you to those picnics with them.
Yes!
And I was like, yes!
Like, honestly, like, all the mechanics they gameplay loop things that they put out look great. Picnics look great. Raids look fun. Like, raids just look like a mix of like Pokemon Go and the stuff from the Sword and Shield DLC.
Yes, it's very much. It wasn't even the DLC. I mean, you probably saw the raids were in base Sword and Shield, and then they made the dungeon. So it looks like that they've improved on them by the looks of it.
Which are great. Again, great. Like, it looks fun. It looks fun as hell. I'm gonna play a lot of it probably.
Same. I've already said to a mate of mine that I anticipate on release that there will just be like a Pokemon party happening in Discord.
Oh, 100,000%.
Because I'm pretty sure it's releasing on a Friday.
And that...
It's November 18th, I think.
It is 18th. It's a Friday, yeah.
Yeah, releasing on Friday.
Which is hilarious, because you know what is releasing on October 18th?
New patch?
New patch.
There it is. It took me a second because I was like, games.
Games. Yes, 6.25 is out next week. And you know what it is? Fucking relics.
Of course it is.
And you remember what I was like with the Shadowbringers relics, right?
I sure do.
It's one of the things I actually miss about working at Game. Are you one of us?
Hey, former Game employee! How many former Game employees are in this stream?
Our stories had huge Pokemon parties. Yes, I did the Sun and Moon launch.
Yep. So many former Game employees.
Oh. Yeah, I did the Sun and Moon launch at Game.
I did which launches did I do? I did two. I think I did oh god, I fucking did X and Y because I was
gonna say, did you X and Y?
I did X and Y because I remember the early purchase thing where it's like, oh, it's only available for you to get for like the first month was a Torchic, and I remember literally, because I was a Pokemon fan, I remember literally printing out like a picture of a Mega Blaziken and putting it on my lanyard to be like, hey, you can get one of these if you buy Pokemon X and Y because it's available for the first month. Because I was that nerd.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and then I think I did the one after as well. Which one was after X and Y now? Mega Ruby? Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I did that one as well.
Yeah, the other thing that's coming up with the Final Fantasy patch is the new version of hard mode dungeons. And I anticipate many evenings of me, Das, Kay, and Erin in a Discord channel bashing our heads against them. They sound hard as nails, and like, I'm definitely gonna do them. I watched Sun and Moon. Hey! Solidarity. We were there for the great Pokemon Moon shortage of whatever fucking year it was. Because for some reason Moon completely sold out worldwide, but Sun was fine.
Like Lunala, man.
Moon supremacy. I have to say that, otherwise I take 5d8 psychic damage. That was a joke, I think, just for Das.
No, I got it. Unfortunately. Technical brain thoughts occurring. How do I want to do this?
Are you Matthew Mercer?
I wish. I need additional polygons. I must construct additional polygons.
Oh my god, an ancient meme has been unearthed. Has been restored to the world. I haven't heard that.
I actually feel slightly bad that I said that.
I have not thought about the requirement to construct additional
StarCraft text.
I have not thought about constructing additional pylons, I think, in about 10 years. I just got yeeted to a different time and world state. I never understand the differences I get the other games. My friend can have nice trades. Yeah, I'm one of two people. I either just get the one that all my friends aren't getting, or I am very particular. So like, for Sun and Moon, I didn't really mind, and my sister was getting Sun, so I just got Moon. And then, for this one, when they announced the names, I was like, well, I'm getting Scarlet. Like, it's just this is my brand.
Yeah, for the bulk of my life, it was basically, I was the one where it's like, I would pick the one I wanted based on version exclusives, and I had a friend who would then pick the other one.
You were the Vicky of...
Yeah, I was the one who would be on Cerebi, like, you know, a few weeks before release and being like, have they announced all the version differences? And I'd go through on the list and be like, what's the difference between all the different versions? And pick the one that I wanted. These days, I'm actually more chill because now we actually have working internet, whereas before we didn't, basically. It was either you had to trade in person or do a weird internet on the DS was very clunky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but now that everybody has, like, a Switch and so many people are getting it, I'm just like, I basically just need to pick the version that has the legendary I like because I can trade to complete the Pokedex with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I was always like, whatever Vicky's getting, I'll get the opposite. Which works out because I think she's getting Violet this time. I just Golden Retriever again because Fred's happy. Yeah. Yeah, fortunately I've got a big enough friend group now that play Pokemon that I kind of don't need to care. Because statistically it's almost impossible that everyone in our friend group is going to get the same one.
Speaking of the man I was about to talk about, Cole basically confirmed. Confirmed almost immediately he was going to get Violet, and you've confirmed almost immediately you're getting Scarlet. So that's it. We're covered.
Yeah.
Ow!
As I have said, the price of my friendship to anyone getting Scarlet is one of those Ghost Fire boys.
Violet, you mean?
Mm-hmm. That is what I meant. I'm raining here.
Because Pokemon fans are like that and people dissect everything, there was a very small thing flying around and it hasn't gained too much traction because basically it's so low quality that people can't tell, but there's like a frame in the trailer where there's like a blob, and it's literally someone's like zoomed in, enhance, and they're like, what is this thing? Is it a Pokemon? And then just because of like vague shapes where someone's literally like drawing circles, and it's like, you're just seeing shapes in shadows, my dude. But they're just like, is it a Ghost Boy pre-evolution? And I'm just like, you're grasping at straws. Maybe.
I respect the grift, but like,
it could
calm down.
be, but wow.
Oh man.
It's funny to me though that
So that's a bush.
So that's a bush, yeah, exactly. It's funny to me though that the English trailer actually leaked information that probably wasn't intended because it wasn't in the Japanese version of the trailer.
Was it the stuff that was on the radar?
Yes, it is. In the Japanese version of the trailer, that radar is blank.
I know things.
Yeah!
The thing that I definitely thought was a Pokemon that had already existed. I thought the little mouse guy was the chinchilla Pokemon.
I'm in China.
Yeah. This is what I like about being friends with Blue, is I can say something like that that objectively means nothing and she knows what I'm talking about.
That's why I'm here. It would be no fun for me to do one of those random, like, oh, we're just gonna name a Pokemon, you have to draw it from memory games, because I'd probably get it right.
Do it, yeah.
I'd just get it right, and that's not fun.
You need to do the one that Drawfee did recently, where they took a random drop of a random Pokemon and had to make it into a new Pokemon.
That was fun, I did watch that one, actually.
It was very good. As per usual, Julia Lepetite is a god. It's great.
Julia
is a mess.
Causes me psychic damage whenever there's a Pokemon episode.
That's what Julia Lepetite is for. God bless. I am watching them play Beacon Pines at the moment, and holy shit. You know, I know that I recommended that game to you, but I want to play that so bad. Is that my shit for sure? I've just read something, Blue.
What?
Since the last time I spoke to you, I have read 3 books.
Amazing. We love to see it. Wow.
One of them's poetry, one of them's a play, and one of them's a novel. But
wow.
3 fucking books.
Hot damn, girl.
You know, with me, it's all or nothing.
Mm-hmm. That is how it be.
Read Bargain Bin Rom-Com, which is Lena Norm's debut poetry collection, which was very good. I read The Play of the Prince, which is the play I saw. And then I finished After Sappho today. Yeah, this guy. I read this entire book today.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. That.
And it is dense. I want to read The Prince. This guy. I feel really bad talking about this play because it sold out the day I saw it. So I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't talk about how good it was because that feels like gloating.
Aww.
But they have recorded a pro shoot of it and it will be on Nebula, so you guys can watch it. But holy shit, this play was good. This play was good.
I don't know what it's about. I know nothing about it.
Okay. So did I when I went in.
Wow, you went to watch a play that you knew nothing about. Wow.
Correct. Well, I say nothing. I knew someone who'd seen it. I know this lady. This is Abigail Thorne on the cover. She wrote this play. And she also stars in it, and she's also amazing. But she runs a channel called Philosophy Tube on YouTube, and I was aware of her. I watch her videos and stuff. But I didn't know how good she'd be as a playwright. So I didn't want to book tickets based on pure hype, and then people went, I knew where to go see it, and were like, it's amazing, you would love it. I was like, okay, fine. It was fucking great. Let me see how good the blurb is on the play. This is the play text, by the way, because that's how much I liked it. Yes, okay. The blurb's okay. I love seeing plays and musicals blind. Did that with Hadestown. I also went into Hadestown blind. But yes, the blurb's not bad. Have you ever been in a bad relationship playing a role that doesn't suit you? Jen and Sam are also trapped in the multiverse of Shakespeare's complete works. On their quest to discover the doorway back to reality, they notice something unusual about Henry Hotspur Percy. Now Jen and Sam must decide. Do they risk losing their way home to help someone who might be like them, someone who does not yet know who she truly is? The Prince is a sharp new play that weaves through Henry IV Part 1 and other of the Bard's works, providing fun for the audience whether they be Shakespeare scholars or verse virgins. With sword fighting, lesbianism, and disappointed parents, this thrilling new work written by Abigail Thorpe. It was very, very, very good. I nearly cried twice.
Nice.
I was in the front row. It was one of the ones that was it was in the round, which is fun theatre term for when the stage is on your level. And there were seats all the way around it. I was in the front row in a very mildly populated run. The show show sold out that night, but that matinee had changed, like, some of the, like, it was meant to have an interpreter for certain things, and then it couldn't have it last minute, so it was very empty, and it was a wild time. Given the amount of effort it took in Pop for you to cry, that says a lot. Blue, I'm loving these transforms to create a wide pal.
He is large! And also I'm trying to work out how mirroring works. And I'm also trying to add in, like, extra edges, but I don't just want to subdivide unnecessarily at this point in time, which is why I'm literally using parts of my brain that have been locked off for, like, 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I have at least got the mirror working.
When this comes to Nebula, I'm sitting every fucker down on the sofa to watch.
Good.
This will be a watch party for sure. You know it's good because it starts out with a decent amount, like a straight up Shakespeare first scene.
Baby!
What is happening?
I'm having a child thrust upon me. Hello. Ow. Good night.
Try to be quiet. Or no cuddles. In the night, I will wake up.
That's what you think.
Forget about this. Stealing, theft.
I do not steal them.
Horrendous.
You're the one who cuddles me. I keep telling you this.
Bullshit, it's your witchery. Your witchery. That you've learned from that witch on there.
The heart
that's not the right
devil.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not the right word starting with W.
That's it said, the other word.
Ow.
Unacceptable.
I told you though. I get into bed and you're just like fast asleep and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get in quietly, and then before I know it, you rolled over and clamped onto me, and I'm just like, okay, guess I get a cuddle.
On this.
It's free cuddles.
I want to clarify for chat while they're having this very cute conversation that the harlot of the devil thing is an in-joke. Blue's not just calling me a harlot for no reason.
No, I am.
But with pretext.
Oh, now I have a grumpy baby on my lap.
No.
Very upset about it. You don't really like being on my lap, do you?
She is indeed the harlot of the devil, an old man said so. Confirm.
What are you doing with your leg?
As evidenced by my comfy practical cardigan.
Oh my god, I need you to see this picture. Hang on. Discord.
Yes, I figured that would be how that was happening.
When I came home from my mum and dad's at the weekend, this was on the fridge. And I literally stared at it and I was like, did you draw this? And Spook was like, yeah, and I'm like, I love it. I love it. It's so
I'm gonna describe this for chat. Blue has sent me a picture of the whiteboard attached to her fridge, which has a marker that's kind of running out of ink. And with said marker that's kind of running out of ink, Spook has drawn a loaf of bread with a little Sadie face. And it has a little smiley, it has a little heart above it.
It's so cute. Ow. Are you a loaf? Are you a loaf of bread?
It's happier than Sadie's ever looked.
Yep.
So comfy, so practical, better call the witch finder general. I feel that.
Oh, goodness, sneezes.
Big sneeze.
Oh, sneezes.
Oh,
Nice.
I came in earlier and I opened that door and I looked over here, and over here in a little loaf pile was Matilda sound asleep.
Aw.
And I was like, oh boy, you really can't be in here. I was like, I don't know how you got in here, but you can't be in here.
Well, cats always want to be where they can't be. As...
It's like literally 2 doors over is my brother's room where she is welcome all hours of day and night.
Evidence. Nope. Evidence. Cats will be where they're not allowed.
Now that is a picture of Sadie.
Of course, her mid-meow if you zoom in.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't need to zoom in.
Your gremlin.
This is a picture for chat, audio description, of Sadie's box palace that exists in Blue's front room.
It was Archer's box. It's the box that this Arcanine came in.
Yes, it's a box palace. And instead of being in it where there is a bunch of like rooms and blankets and toys, Sadie is on top of it. The box is like bending a little bit in where she stood, and she's looked directly at the camera, which is assumedly Blue. Yep. And making the most like violent looking meow I've ever seen.
It's just
like murderous intent.
And that was because I'd snap a picture of her, but I was in the process of saying you can't be on there because I was about to leave to go visit my parents, aforementioned parents. And obviously the main issue with
the stream, Blue's parents.
Yes, the major issue with her being on that box is that she can then get up to the TV and then risks falling behind the TV. At which point she will not be able to get back out. There is no way back up. So I was like, you absolutely cannot be on there. You'll see that the reason she's on there is because of where the poof is, which you can see at the very bottom. So I was like, this cannot be near this box at all. There probably is a tool that I'm looking for, I just don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, that did happen in D&D.
Hilarious.
I don't remember where it started. I think Das was rolling traits for Madrash or something. Or like, it was just something that came up as a trait of Madrash's that it was like, doesn't trust wizards. And I was like, that's hilarious. We have to lean into it. And like, Kid is such a little shithead that doesn't... Of his faults, which are many, one of them is that he doesn't really have much time for people he perceives as less intelligent as him. So just like this natural rivalry between Kid and Madrash.
Oh no.
But it's like very tongue-in-cheek. It's like Madrash sets up this like bone chime trap thing for detecting intruders, and hilariously I had already decided to go to somewhere that was like past it, so I was like, oh, Kid just walks through and sets it off. It doesn't even care. Oh, it's very funny. The irony is that Madrash is in many ways smarter than Kitra.
Certainly wiser.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Farewell.
Reset the trap after he left, and I did it when I came back.
Yep.
I don't know if... Is it wisdom, maybe?
Oh, Sadie! Oh, for God's sake. Oh, Sadie's having an issue. Hang on, I gotta be right back. Look after the tree.
Mute your mic. Hi, chat. Tell me you can't hear Blue, by the way, chat. I think we're alone now. Hi, buds. Chat, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm like 50% here. I'm like 50% here. The other 50% of me is in this book still. I've been like, I picked at it a couple days, and then I was like, today it was so beautiful outside that I was like, I'm gonna go sit outside and finish this book. And I did that. And yes, it was that good that I nearly bailed last stream to finish it. But I finished it before we got here. Because I didn't realize that a decent amount of the back is bibliography. So it wasn't as long as I thought it was. It's not one of those books that I think I'm going to recommend to a lot of people I know, but it is like probably in my top 5 books I've ever read. Compared to the other book I started this week, which I've like not picked up again. I'm trying to think what kind of update I can give you, chat. There really isn't one. I've been doing a bunch of Hildebrand and Final Fantasy. That's about it. I have Song of Achilles on the way and I'm very excited. I fucking love that book. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. That's Song of Achilles. I love that book, Madeline Miller. I have every book that Madeline Miller's ever written. And I love all of them. Circe is my favourite book of all time. I have... What side is my tat on? I have a tat for it. Curls is also prepping a heist. Curls is theoretically prepping a heist. How much practical work I have done towards that heist remains to be seen. I have a lot of ideas for the heist. And they are yet to be put in any conceptual order. There's a non-zero chance that I will just make it up. Song of Achilles is so good. I'm thinking about it now. So good. Me and Blue get to play a rogue and a monk for it. Very excited. I realized today that I'm gonna have to make Best Day and Chaos's character sheets legible for another human being, and I'm dreading it. I'm also gonna have to write out the rules for their various magical weapons that I have not bothered to do because I just know how they work. Because you can also make their Hero Forge tokens. Maybe I'll do that while we're sat here. I'm gonna be honest, chat, I was hyper-focusing so hard that, like, I can't make things right now because I'm thinking too much about something else. So, yeah, I'll do that. I get to play a high scene as a raccoon folk inspired by Columbo. I get to be a little guy. Being a little guy is one of the truest joys of D&D in my experience. One day I might play a little guy. It's weird. I literally don't think I have a little guy in my back pocket, which doesn't make sense to me. I literally don't think I do. I think Fenna was my little guy. A little nice little knife lady. They're always good. Pox is also kind of a little guy. My chair's broken again. Yeah, Pinter's your little guy for sure. Oh, I love Best Day. Sorry. I'm making Best Days this thing now and I'm like, oh. Love this character. Hey, you back?
I'm back.
Welcome back. We've just had a good chill time while you've been gone, so.
Good.
Chat have talked me into making Chaos and Best Days Hero Forge.
Yes! Good.
They both got tokens that still work, but it's fun. And also, I wasn't really going to make anything today, so gives me something to do. Gotta give Best Day those thighs. We were talking about our various little guys. And I was talking about the fact that I don't really have a little guy.
I have multiple little guys.
You have many little guys.
I have so many little guys.
You really do.
I love my little guys. They're so fun.
I can't believe I don't have a little guy. I was saying, like, the closest thing I have to a little guy is Fenna.
Too many. Nope, not enough. Need to make more.
Blue has to compensate for my lack of little guys.
Exactly. I play my little guys off your non-little guys. Like Scribble.
My terrible women.
Oh no.
By the way, my oh god. My terrible sleep schedule can do without you teasing the dream spell in the group chat, by the way. I'm going through enough in my day-to-day without that.
Too bad.
So that sounds like a you problem.
It sure does. I took dream naturally, and I'm gonna make it the whole party's problem.
Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to use that spell, so honestly, I'm jealous.
I mean, same. That's why I took it. I was like, oh, I see an opportunity here, and I'm going to take it.
Yeah, but why do you have to use it to harass me? I know the answer is because who else?
Yeah, who else am I going to use it on? Actually, no. I did that very untidily.
I need to have a little guy as my main guy might be becoming the new god of murder. Hey!
Hey!
I nearly became the new Lord of the Abyss. How you doing?
Oh no.
Yeah, managed to narrowly avoid that reality.
There we go. Also, the reason I went blender no is because I was like, how do I cut edges? Into Google, and they were like, with the knife, of course. I was like, there's a knife? Blender's got a knife.
No! I like that Google was like, oh, clearly you're trying to cut the edges of like a book? Like an old printing press book? Is that what they assumed?
No, it was It was still Blender. I was just like, Blender cut edge with cut edge, and they were like, use the knife. Huh? Blender knife. Huh? There's a knife tool. Huh? It's a sign to. It's a sign to.
Why?
It's a sign to. It's for cutting things. Duh. What else do you use a knife for?
It's a sign to K, of course it is.
Assigned knife at birth.
K is, yes. You kill it, you replace it. That's also how I almost ended up being the Lord of the Abyss.
Yeah.
Hey! Fox and Heroth would get on.
Almost exactly. I don't need this edge. Why is this here? I don't need that.
I know Best Day's a lesbian, but goddamn, she really is a lesbian. Immense lesbian energy.
That's better.
So weird putting her in her old monk gear. I know you guys don't know her intimate backstory like I do in my brain, but like, holy shit, it feels weird.
Oops. Oop.
Blue, I didn't tell you. I made a model for Vera.
Yeah, show me! That's so
God.
weird, because I was thinking about Scribble over the weekend. That's
Okay,
so
let me
funny.
Yeah, I was thinking about Vera this weekend.
And I was thinking about Scribble. God damn it, Cluster.
Which one of us perpetrated this on the other, I wonder?
I started thinking about Scribble on Friday because I mentioned her to a friend.
It doesn't tell me when I made this. But it might have been about the same time. This one, you have to really get in there on the details, I would say. But this is also a bit younger than I imagined her being. But also elves.
Elves, yeah. Because I was imagining this image had come into my brain, and I was like toying around with drawing it, but I didn't have a full reference on how Vera looked. So
Enjoy.
The picture was literally like a two-part picture, you know, where people like draw the same thing twice, but then they like change the second one ever so slightly. It was gonna be her in like full like, you know, ball attire big dress, all glitz stuff, and then the second one would be exactly the same, except Scribble is like poking their beak out from underneath her dress.
I mean, well, now you have reference for it because she is wearing a ball gown.
Yes! Let me see.
I'm not too happy with these arms, but they're as close as I can get on Hero Forge.
Yes. See, I know what they're meant to, because you've explained to me. It's like the drawing guide hand is how you described it to me.
Yes.
Oh yes, look at her, lady, lady.
There's Vera if you want, champ.
Love her.
She's great. She's wearing like 9-inch heels, Cash.
Yep.
Oh, I like her. She's great. She's my detective. My
Yeah.
lady detective.
Scribble takes notes for her.
Mm-hmm.
Scribble's just another little guy.
Yeah.
It's another one of my many little guys.
Also, I went with this like jewel dress, like stone-looking dress, because none of the fabrics looked expensive enough.
It works. It works.
Vera's got money.
Yeah.
Money, money, money. Old money.
Yeah. So for the class, because Hero Forge doesn't quite do it justice, explain the arms for
Oh, okay.
or how they should be.
So Vera doesn't have arms past the elbow. So she has prosthetics. She has a couple of them, but her favorite ones are like brushed silver. And the arm bit is like a plate here that's got little bits of like etching and like it's not embroidery, embossed on top. But then the hands are like articulated, almost like dragoon gauntlets, but a little bit more detailed. And they have a little bit of like a point to them. They would be a werewolf there, is what I'm saying. It's not why she uses silver, she just likes them. She just likes it as a metallic color. But if you shook hands with her and you were a shape changer, you would have a bad time. But yeah, she's great. He's old drow money. Yeah, she's got cool silver prosthetic arms and then tats that go up from it, like, to make it look like they're connected. And she doesn't really have a family and she's bored and rich, so she
Goes and solves murders.
goes and solves mysteries for the rich and wealthy. She's inspired by Miss Fisher from Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries, for the most part, but also kind of like, you know, Agatha Christie, and she solves like cozy crimes. Yeah, and then Blue accidentally made an assistant for her.
Yep.
I was like, hey, I've made this new OC, do you like her? And she's like, yes, I do like it very much. I made a little friend for her.
I made them a friend. Because that's what my brain did. It's just like, you have made a person. Cool, I've made a friend for said person.
Yeah, she's made the Luke to this Professor Layton.
That was literally the joke. Scribble literally has like Luke's hat and jumper. Scribble is a Kenku, and the entire joke is that she's like a living tape recorder, basically, because Kenkus have perfect recall. So yeah, Scribble follows her around. She has a notebook which she scribbles in, hence the name. But in case she's ever interviewing anybody, Scribble just sits there and remembers the entire conversation for her and can perfectly relay it back to her, which is a useful thing to have when you're detectoring.
Yeah. And they have great hijinks.
Yeah.
Vera's inquisitive rogue, for anyone who's asking about the bow. Cool sniper I love this so much. Yeah,
I
they're
know.
friends. Because we go. If you go back into the VODs, you'll find a video of me and Blue talking about this, but it was also the thing of, like, in my head, Vera has, like, a massive, like, estate that only she lives in. And she throws parties and things and, you know, tries to keep it lively, but it's more or less just her in this massive house. So we were, like, coming up with a bunch of fun headcanons about Scribble living in this massive house, because Vera's like, someone's got to use it.
Yeah, she basically literally adopts Scribble after the two of them meet up and solve a mystery together. It's just like when Scribble basically didn't have anywhere. It's literally just like a kid off the street. and then she gets given literally the biggest mansion. This tiny little Kenku scrabbling around, and even though there's an entire mansion of things to steal, she still sometimes steals Vera's hands.
Vera's various hands, shiny hands.
It was you who said, could you imagine the absolutely horrific sight of someone opening a door into an empty room, and there's just an animatronic hand on the floor, and just like this.
This is a lot of them.
And this little feathery Kenku just sort of going.
Yeah, Vera's great. She's one of the she's very clear in my head. Like, I know her whole character.
What we're saying is that we already have characters established if anybody wants to do a murder mystery noir game.
Yes, 100%.
It doesn't have to be traditional D&D, because I don't think either Scribble or Vera were built with traditional D&D in mind. They were just built to be characters.
Yeah, not even fast. The problem is I both want to run the campaign that we would use them in and
play
in it. I'm just saying, if anyone wants to run Fantasy Misfish of Murder Mysteries, call me. I've got enough on my plate. Mood.
We weren't asking you. I think they would work as, like, not necessarily a campaign, but like episodic one-shots, almost like how murder mystery books are written.
Yeah, murder. Yeah, 100%. Because that's the thing with Vera, especially, is like, why is Vera interested in this? I don't know. Why not? Like, you don't need to. There's not a lot of setup required.
She comes with the setup. She runs.
Yeah.
She's rich. She is a rich detective that people come to with their problems.
Yeah, she has Sherlock Holmes syndrome.
Yeah, literally, we made fantasy Sherlock Holmes.
I have the Gumshoe one shot. That's true.
Oh shit, bruh.
God, trying to find gauntlets that can work for best day is hard. Very specific. Yeah, Eberron is best played episodic. Yeah, I know we've talked about it before, haven't we? I don't remember which one of you is playing Chaos and which one of you is playing Basto. I think you're playing Chaos, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that was...
I'm playing the monk, Daph's playing the rogue.
Oh wait, then you're playing Bester.
Oh, other way around. Okay. I get the names mixed up to which classes they are.
No, it's fine. I'm playing the rogue, so yeah, Daph's playing Chaos, you're playing Bester. No, it makes sense when you guys mix them up, because literally when you arrived, that was the whole point.
This is true.
They were supposed to be confused. That was part of their grift.
Yeah.
Everyone's so sick. Like, Neren's been slowly converting me. It's very sick. Sorry, give me a sec.
Just there we go. And a very short Everon thing, which was run as an anthology of tales. It's how I run Agents of the ODD, so it's just fun to run mysteries like that. Playing Pikmin Bloom, and I'm in a challenge to walk a certain distance and plant flowers. Just another Pokemon Go. I was like, but what if I had more Pokemon Go?
Okay, that killed it. Sorry, my monitor's making a very strange noise. I thought it was a bug.
Ah. I don't want that. My phone doesn't like it when I play both Go and Pikmin at the same time. I imagine not.
Yeah. My phone didn't like it when I played Go. End of sentence.
Oh. Blender, no.
Blender.
Blender, no. Don't do that. I don't want to.
Hey, see you, bud. Thanks for popping by.
Thank you so much for coming. I've been a friend to make a new character. Exciting. Love it.
Always a good time.
Take care, love you, loves. Bye.
Blender, no blending.
Blender, no blending. Oh no, it sure is blending, alright. It's blending too hard. How do I... Ah, there we go. Dunk, 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 dunk. Don't want any of these.
You good?
Yeah, just vibing along to Hopes and Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bop.
It is. Birds are stupid. Yes.
Oh no.
What bird I saw today, Blue?
Robin?
A crane.
Ooh.
Biggest
Fancy.
fucking bird I've ever seen in my life.
Really? Wow.
Well, not true. I fed an emu. But, I mean, like, in my garden.
Wow, fair enough.
Yeah. Fucking huge thing. My dad was like, oh yeah, they live in the reservoir not far from here. And I'm like, there's a reservoir?
Yeah. Sometimes I've seen a heron down at the lake by us. They are also very big.
Yes, my dad did say, unsure if have seen them before, unsure if crane or heron. So
I could probably identify it.
They are hard to distinguish from a distance. I can't remember what best is. Let's open Twitch instead of Roll20. Good job. Oh, I picked up a new RPG this week because it was going free on Roll20, and it sounds fascinating.
Oh, do tell.
It's called Alice is Missing, and it is an entirely silent RPG.
Oh, wild.
It's meant to be played in one sitting or like a couple sittings, entirely through text messages.
Huh.
Or like Discord messages or whatever messaging service.
Oh, wild.
Where is it? Yes, a silent role-playing game about the disappearance of Alice Briarwood, a high school junior in the small town of Silent Falls. The game is played live without verbal communication. Players inhabit their character for the entirety of the 90-minute play session, and instead of speaking, send text messages back and forth to the other characters in a group chat, as well as individually, as though they aren't in the same place.
Hello there.
Hey, bud. But yeah, I would love to play that with people at some point.
That sounds very interesting.
It sounds sick, right? It would be like a thing where I would make a Discord server for it, probably.
Yeah, so that there's like a channel
Contained
for everybody.
place for it. And I'd probably make everyone admin so they can just make channels and things. But that way, like, even if it like breaks off into private chats, we can still go back and read it in the end.
Yeah, people can read it.
But yeah, it's like one of the, every so often I run into weird RPGs and I'm like, that sounds fucking fascinating. And it doesn't have a DM necessarily, it just needs someone to kind of admin, essentially. There's like one NPC that someone has to play at one point, and that would assumedly be me. But you're welcome to like play as well, being admin. And you just follow along. There's like one piece of setup that needs to be done. It's literally that simple. So yeah, maybe if we're missing a session one week, I'll read through it.
Fair
Because
enough.
apparently it only takes 90 minutes to play.
Oh wow, that was very contained.
So, yeah. And setting up a Discord server takes, in reality, like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Really dark. This is a way more successful best day model than I made in the old software. What you're saying is that it would take 3 hours. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it probably would with us.
The thing is as well, if it takes place over messages, like, it doesn't matter as much, right? Like, it doesn't matter so much, like, timeline-wise,
I guess
right?
not.
Like,
No.
if it's a thing of, like, oh, we need to stop playing and go to bed because people have got work or whatever, like, it can keep going.
Reinventing forum RPs.
Yeah.
It's just Discord.
The old days. Deep sigh. To the quiet times, chat.
Y concentrate.
Much of extra stuff on this model, but honestly, I don't think Best would carry this much stuff. Take rid of some. I don't think this pose is interesting enough. Every time I think I'm happy with it, I have to remove 3 other elements. God, the way that Hero Forge does its like eye movement when you're adjusting it is like it's uncanny a little bit.
Yeah, a little upsetting sometimes.
It's like, oh, that looks a little too real. Cannot pose this away. Like effect I like for the profane soul projectiles. Partly because Hero Forge models, when you do a spell, automatically doesn't let you change the ham pose.
Yeah.
I can't like make it look like it's going.
Oh, I get you.
You know, like profane soul do.
Yeah, the punchy. Sun Soul, you mean?
Sun soul, that's it. Profane soul.
I knew what you meant. It just took my brain a moment to vocalize it.
I mentally have done that every single time.
I knew you meant Sun Soul.
I have done that every single time I go to say Sun Soul. I think profane soul first.
Everyone just got so much soul in D&D.
I got soul.
Some people have too much soul. I have a character in the backlog that has that problem.
Oh damn! Got extra passengers?
Yep. It's fine. I'm
never
sure
fine.
it won't be a problem.
It's never fine.
Ow.
Huh?
That was my knee. That thunk was my knee.
Oh Jesus!
If you want uncanny valley, look at Mega Absol's face. It just has a human face.
No, thank you. What birthday has piercings?
Phew.
I was like, what's missing on this model that's making me think this isn't birthday? Oh right, 85,000 piercings. There we go. It's immediately better. That's hilarious. My head's like, oh, now I accept this. That's more or less, what's up, people?
Hello, Cookie. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream. Hello.
And I'm back. Welcome.
Wonderful. Welcome so many people to be welcomed. Oh, wow.
Welcome to a very chill art stream.
Yeah,
We're
we're
having a
vibing.
good chill time here.
We're both concentrating on what we're doing, so it's chill times. It means you get to enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Hello, friend. Why are you beat sabering again? Ah! Thank you. VRC drinking games and then Beat Saber. Nice. I've been debating whether I should try streaming VR chat, but I don't know.
VR chat? Yeah,
VR
sure.
chat. I know loads of people do.
Yeah.
It'd basically be me streaming, hanging out with my buds. I'd probably just have to ask my buds if they are okay with it.
Yeah, you got drunk.
Yep.
I'm just dead.
So I'm probably never going to stream Beat Saber because I like to play Beat Saber to songs that will definitely get copyrighted.
That's 100% true. I had like best days models way too simple, but then I remember that I have to make chaoses after this, and maybe that's fine.
Are you saying I'm tipsy, not that drunk? With a typo.
Yep. Oops, wrong chat. Oh, thank you for that preview, Hero Forge.
I just now realised that's an Arcanine. I mean, to be fair, I've been zipping all over the place.
Yep.
Now you can actually see the thing.
It's a very large Arcanine. I haven't asked the purpose of the Arcanine.
The purpose of the Arcanine is for throwing. I'm making this so it can be thrown at me.
This is a great day.
That's the goal. That's the goal. The throwing program comes with a
Accepts custom models.
It comes with a tutorial on how to add stuff to it. It was apparently made in Unity, and Unity is what I used to do my VRC stuff and what I used to make this. So I was like, well, I've done all of that, so I could probably do this. So yeah, I'm making a model of the gigantic Arcanine plushie, which I own in real life, so that you guys can throw it at me.
Hmm? That's fucking astounding.
That's the thing I decided to do today.
How big is the model going to be? That's a very good question.
I mean, if I am true to real life, it will be as big as me. Because the plushie is enormous.
Really is. It's as big as me.
Yeah. So it will. The idea is that it will fully crush me.
Oh, like reboot?
Like reboot. I will vanish from the screen. I will be crushed underneath it. It will be probably the same parameters as reboot, but the model will be this model. They've seen the unboxing. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know. The giant Arcanine, we've all seen it.
I make sure everyone's seen it.
I've held it.
This is true.
And I've also cuddled it for therapy purposes.
Same, that's what it's for.
It's for.
Will it come flying at you or running at you using dash? It will just sort of be statically thrown at me. I don't think you can animate the object itself. Because it is a plushie. So it will just be a static coming at me. Oh, the new song. New songs for stream, yay.
Hey. God, fucking tiefling horns age me.
Yep.
That's why have you forced me to go through this again on a new character? Trying to find models for however you picture horns. Terrible.
People be very specific with their tiefling horns, and Hero Forge is yet to accommodate for that.
Yep.
They're getting better.
They are,
but
it takes time. There used to be one.
It takes time to add new stuff, and they obviously, the goal of the site is...
adding a lot.
It has to be 3D printable as well, remember, because that's what the site is made
for sure. But also, like, they add stuff to the site. It feels like every day.
Oh yeah, they add, I think they try to add something every week, but obviously they tend to add items and outfits.
Yeah. And hair. I love hair.
Yeah, I think people request...
You took the shot, Carls. You did this to yourself. No, I didn't. The dice rolled the nat 1 on the saving throw. It had to karmically balance out the fucking 3 nat 20s I'd rolled the session by 4 before rolling me 4 sequential nat 1s.
It's funny to me that this Arcanine plushie is probably one of the reasons that the giant plushies are referred to as trainer-sized, because yes, it is as big as a person, but no, it's not life-size, so they can't call them life-size.
Yes, we've had this discussion.
Also, the Sphere is amazing.
Sphere is incredible.
That is life-size.
Yes.
Hello again, child. Are you back after you disgraced yourself?
What a thing to say.
Arcanine gets yeeted at supersonic speeds. I don't know if AI would recognise the word yeeted.
Hero Forge, you knew.
Hmm.
Chaos wears the leather chest piece that Chaos wears is kind of like a jester's. It's meant to look a little bit like a jester's outfit.
Oh.
And there is a thing for that.
What do you
Not
know?
exactly that, but it's meant to be referencing it.
Yeah.
You look at her picture, she's got the like... Yeah, so it says touch. So I love the scarves that they've put in this.
Yes, scarves are important. I think really a lot of D&D characters have scarves because they just have that sort of... I don't know what it is. It's the main character vibe, isn't it? To give you
it's the anime character vibe.
It's the anime character, main character vibe.
Must be something that allows parents to pick them out amongst the toys at Toys R Us. Specific and yet somehow correct.
I pressed a button and I don't know what it did. It made my thing slightly lighter.
Oh, with your what?
I don't know what I did.
Anyone in chat knows what Blue did.
Oh, okay. It changed the material preview, apparently.
Always makes me laugh when I'm like dressing up a character in Hero Forge and I just put them in like really casual armor, like really casual stuff. So yeah, some jeans. I'm seeing Pop and Oakheart fighting to see what's the first campaign on my Roll20. It was really funny actually. When I went into Oakheart last, it was the first time I'd ever seen it on the second row.
Oh wow!
Of my Roll20, because it was Pop, Oracle of War, the campaign I made for the Alice is Missing module, and then it was a row down. First time I've ever seen that.
Because Yoshi P's line of "play other games" does in fact apply to D&D.
It sure does. Oh my god, Blue.
Ow!
How do I talk about this? Thank you. How do I talk about this? There was the same live letter where they announced FanFest and all that stuff.
Yes.
They Yoshi P was interviewed like on that panel by someone who was in full cosplay as a Final Fantasy character with really fucked up face paint. And the pictures of it are so funny. Like, I should say, this is an anthropomorphic character. It's not a human character.
Oh, right.
And, like, the pictures are so funny because it's this guy in full cosplay with like pretty bad face paint, like pretty like goofy face paint, and Yoshi P's just sat there like this. Like very professional in the way that Yoshi P and the devs always are. But it was so funny. You know the meme glance for Prey? Basically that, yeah. It literally was.
Oh god. Someone meme glammed him in real life.
It was so funny. It was one of those things because everyone was so excited for the live letter. It was like, we don't have time to unpack this right now, but just acknowledge it's really funny. Do I know it's not practical for characters to be wearing heeled boots? Yes. Am I gonna keep putting my character in heeled boots? Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I am. They look great.
Yeah.
I know it's not realistic. It's not why I'm here.
Just do what Delmara did and weaponize them.
Uh-huh. It's also a Friday Fisher thing, like... I hit the lock. Why is this lock broken? I hit it with my stiletto. He looks at it and goes, and your stiletto has the firepower of a 99mm revolver? And she's like, yes, it does, actually. Yo, Blue, one day, can we just sit down and watch Miss Vicious? It's one of my comfort shows.
Yes, absolutely.
It's literally not... Well, is it good? Yes, it's good. But it is, like, trash TV. Like, it's not meant to be high art, but it's so good.
That's the thing.
A huge amount of joy.
It's a circular scale. Trash TV reaches a point where it comes back around and it's good again.
As far as trash TV goes, it's extremely good. But it's a detective murder show, so it's, you know, there's scales for these things. It's not Sensei, but it's fucking good.
Of course, no, I'm sorry, but hardly anything can compare to Sensei.
Nothing. I don't think anything.
I had to restrain myself so bad in a stream the other day. I was just vibing and chatting in the chat, being like fairly active.
Have you heard?
No, literally, that was the thing. The streamer was like, I need a new series to watch, and I was like, Sensei! And he was like, what's Sensei? And I've never heard of it, and I was just like typing for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, anytime I'm in a chat and anyone's like, yo, I need a new show to watch on Netflix, I'm like,
cracks knuckles.
Because no one's ever fucking heard of it.
I know, right? And I even said in the wall of text I typed out, I was like, this is both a very accurate and also a very inaccurate description because it's such a hard show to describe.
Yeah.
And I literally said what we always say when I was like, the first couple of episodes are hard to get through, but the payoff is amazing.
Yeah. We will scream it at as many people as we have to, God damn it.
Exactly.
Oh, chaos is so much easier to make than best. Like with chaos, anything you add to the model is correct. Best day's like the moment I put like a hip pouch on, I was like, she wouldn't carry that much. Posing wise, it's so tricky. Right crowd to be complaining about that. They're playing a Rodega Marauder. Sick. I know a few people who've started playing FF very recently, actually.
Nice. When I went to visit my parents in the weekend, I played some Guild Wars on my laptop, literally for something to do. I got myself up to 99% completion, and it's been bugging. It's been bugging me for literally like the last 3 days because I've been too busy to play. And I'm just like, I just need 1%. Ah!
Insane.
One zone to do, and it's like already half complete.
I'm just trying to, in FF, I'm literally trying to push through Hildebrand. Because I'm gonna want to do relics when they come out. Let's be honest. Because I hate myself. Hate myself. Why did I decide to do a very complicated tail pose for this?
So if you got a tail, you gotta.
Hey, bub. Come back.
Hello again.
Thanks for the health check.
Thank you. Ugh. Ow.
I haven't drunk nearly enough water today.
Same.
All I have done is read. I don't think this tail pose is necessarily very in character, but it is very cute, so I'm gonna leave it. Jury says it stays, because I say so. every time you have a character with a tail, you have to establish the very important thing of how tail expressive are they?
Oh, yes.
Where on the...
Majority of my characters have that turned up to max.
Yeah.
Because I like tails.
Yeah. Generally, I do too. I think the exception... to be fair, my Ori don't. That's because I imagine the Ura tails to be a little bit more difficult to maneuver.
I guess that'd be because of scales, because...
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is with a lot of reptiles. Like, they can flick their tails, but you don't generally... I know there are exceptions, but you don't generally see things like lizards curling up into balls like cats and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have as much flexibility.
And I think as well with like Makote having maximum tail expressive, I'm like, okay, we can, you know,
Ow!
Unhealthy check. I love the introduction of unhealthy check. I think it's very funny.
An unhealth check. Thanks, guys.
A happy unhealth check to you.
Very unbirthday.
Thank you for getting where I was going with that.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight.
Do burst of movement. Yeah!
0
It's
hour,
cold-blooded.
9 a.m.
Gotta conserve the energy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocket man.
Today on The Fuck Does Chaos Look Like Again?
Burning out his fuse up here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse up here alone. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell. And there's no one there to raise them. If you did,
Just had a real problem there because
all the science
Chaos's eyes are
stands.
black and so is her like skin. That I couldn't differentiate it.
Ah, yeah, that's where lighting and surface,
Yes.
like shine,
And-
comes in.
Yes. I've managed to fix the problem through a slightly unorthodox method, but there we go. Solution is a solution.
Yeah, it's also when the Delmara school of thought comes in, of where you go, well, instead of just making it black, make it a very dark shade of something else.
Yeah.
So it's like, she has black hair, but when painting her, it's like, well, her hair is like very, 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 very dark brown, because it's like, well, black armor. Okay, well, the black armor is very, 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 very dark green. So that the two are different from one another, but they're both kind of black.
Yes.
And I think it's gonna be
My solution in this instance was to use the black leather skin for skin instead of the actual dark black skin tone, and then use it so it's kind of got a matte finish, and then use the potion bottle black for the eyes so it has a like
Highly glossy.
yeah, highly glossy, but also has like a hint of a different color in it.
again, Fairchild. Oh, indeed, it is time. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Who needs an alarm clock when you have a cat?
Yeah. For real. I got jump scared by my cat today. Because she always comes in and out the front door. So I was at the back door, and I literally like looked up and was like, wow, the moon's really bright again today. And literally out the corner of my eye saw this like 2 little glints. And I was like, Jesus, what the fuck is that?
The fuck is that?
And
It's just
we've
the
got a
cat.
full glass back door, and I just sat very politely. It was Matilda, the eye, light reflecting on her eyes, just going, meh.
That's how cats be.
Because we hadn't given, she'd been out, so we hadn't given her dinner. She was like, want food.
Food,
It's like,
please.
how did you get here?
I have my ways.
Yeah. I think now that I've made this chaos model, it's going to become very obvious where ye olde brain was pulling this character design from. I was like looking at the model like, I haven't colored something, but I can't tell what it is. Oh, right, her tail. Sure, that's not important. Reader, it was important. I wonder why purple is what we associate with psionics.
Hmm?
I wonder what that was me thinking out loud. Psionic stuff.
Yeah.
Do you also go straight to purple?
Kinda, yeah.
Why do we think that is?
I don't know if it's something to do with mind flayers.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know, someone ages ago probably decided that that was the colour. Because to be fair, if you asked me to associate a colour with magic in general, I'd pick purple. It's one of the reasons that Kika's purple.
Oh, I go blue.
That's funny, because so does Spook.
Yeah.
Spook also associates magic with blue. I associate it with purple. And this was even
there's something here.
it was even pre Thorncraft as well, but obviously Thorncraft probably solidified that in my brain. But pre Thorncraft, I thought that purple was the color for magic stuff.
Sound off, chat.
What color do you associate with magic?
What is the color of magic by Terry Pratchett?
Well, I think this is partially to blame because the color of magic, according to Terry Pratchett, is a greenish purple. Which obviously, when you try to visualize that in real life, it doesn't make any sense because a greenish purple is probably actually brown if you mix green with purple. But apparently, my brain latched onto the purple part.
Bizarre. Magic is rainbow.
Magic is rainbow.
Purple as well.
Purple as well. The individual drawing on it defines the colour for me. Yeah, I mean as like a general thing. Because I'm very much a fan of people putting their own twist on magic, as, again, influenced by me. Cause
oh yeah, for sure.
Hilariously, Kirok's magic was rainbow, because she was elemental chaos. But if it's just a general thing, an undefined magic aura... You know, it literally like that. If it's an undefined magic aura, I picture purple. Like literally, if you
I always go blue.
If you cast detect magic and it's like, oh, you see a magic aura around this, even if it's not, if no color is associated with it, my brain will conjure purple subconsciously.
Fascinating. I'm trying to think what this could possibly be rooted in.
Synesthesia, probably.
Well, yeah, but like, is there some kind of influence I've had? Because Narnia's not really got a big magic thing, so it wouldn't even be that.
Spook has at least told me what his influence is for blue, which is Merlin's robes in Sword in the Stone are blue.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
He watched that as a kid, and that is his mental association for magic.
Hang on. Yeah, this is probably mine.
And Mad Madam Mim is purple. This is also true.
Mine, if we're going like really tiny baby, Cinderella is blue. The magic that transforms Cinderella is blue. Sleepy Beauty's blue as well.
Yes, Sleeping Beauty is also blue, I believe.
The magic, I mean, not the dress themselves. Make it pink. No, make it blue. Well, one of theirs is blue magic anyway. But yeah, I was like... See, sickly green is only magic for me if it's bad.
Yeah, green
like
is bad
necromancy,
magic.
Green.
Yeah, green is bad magic. So yeah, sickly green is bad magic. If it's a vibrant green, it's healing magic.
Oh no, for me that's bright blue. Which is Avatar's fault.
Ah, right, I can see that. Blame Back Cauldron. Yeah, same. Yeah, I make that association. I think all those old films are to blame. I think that a lot of old films from that era, Don Bluth and Disney, it's evil magic is green.
Oh yeah. I'm literally thinking of In the Dark of the Night.
Oh god, I love that song.
Yeah. Put that recording on Spotify, whoever owns that at this point. Disney, probably.
Yeah, it's Disney because Disney owns Don Bluth stuff now, which is a shame because Don Bluth hated Disney.
There we go. I think that's chaos. It's in time. There's birthday, and then there's her wife.
Disney will eventually own all entertainment. Legally, they can't, but Disney has a tendency to rewrite laws to suit them.
Oh wait,
Because
actually.
once they own everything, they're a monopoly, and despite the game, monopolies are illegal.
In theory.
In theory. Which is why some people are getting up in arms about Microsoft buying Activision. Because they're claiming that they will start to be forming a monopoly over the gaming industry. Which is not really true, because Nintendo and Sega exist, and Sony, but, people gotta try to...
That's still a small list.
It's not a big list, no, but yeah.
Yeah, I deleted that desk because I realised I hadn't done decals law. But it's basically that. Oh yeah, Chaos has always had a lot of hair. That's always been true. Ooh, that's a lot of steps.
So many steppies.
Good night, Stanji.
Good night, Stanji. I just had the realization that when this is done, I could technically 3D print it as well.
Oh my god. Ah, yes, just what you need.
More Arcanines! There's not enough Arcanine merchandise.
There we go. That's the correct chaos, guys. For people when you catch up. Not a huge amount different, but just some detail.
Well, since you're done, I suppose that's probably a sensible place to end. It is past 11.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. I've got half a good boy.
You got the Sphinx of Giza.
With an Arcanine's tail.
Right. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good night, squad.
We will see you tomorrow, right?
Yes. We can do our usual and go say hi to Lying for a little bit, because he's pretty much always streaming when we are.
Yeah, go say hi to them.
Say hi. Say hi to a friend.
Right, bye, chat.
They're on break. They're always on break when we raid them.
Yeah, 100%.
They are always on break when we raid them.
That time lines up every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. But go say hi, shower them in love. We love you loads, and we will see you tomorrow for D&D.
See you tomorrow for Defenders.
Yeah. Love
Bye.
you all. Bye.